Welcome to the channel. My name's EDDBUD and I specialise in shoe and running gear reviews. Today I present to you my initial impressions on the Adidas Adizero 4. So after 10 miles, at about 7 minutes 40 per mile, I present to you my initial impressions on Adidas's Racing Aim shoe. So when I first put the shoe on, really did find it's quite a snug fit really. Not a snug fit like the Vaporfly 4% Flyknit. That's got quite a lot of give to the upper material. With this, there really isn't that much give in the upper. So it was very much a situation of completely loosening off those laces, placing the foot in, and then taking a bit of time and care to get that fit just right. With some careful tightening of the laces, I managed to achieve a really nice lockdown feel over the forefoot. Got to say straight off the bat, this is quite a narrow feeling shoe. I know some people have considered sizing up a little bit in Adidas shoes for running. I'm not somebody that really likes to do that. I would like to get a good fit, a true to size fit if possible in a shoe. So I did go true to size here. It is a little snug, but I think for racing, that's what you really want. You don't want the shoe flapping around, you don't want loads of extra room in that forefoot area. It's not going to make for a good fit. I certainly feel like I've made the right decision going true to size on this shoe. So, being a narrow shoe, I don't think it's going to suit everybody. I think even if you did size up a little bit, this is still going to be a narrow shoe. So those with wider feet, this probably isn't going to work out too well for you. I really did enjoy the very low to ground kind of feel that you get with this shoe. It reminded me when I was younger and I used to ride around with my dad in his Nissan 200SX. It's quite a low kind of sports car, very fast car. It's very sleek, very simple, but very fast. So I had a session planned of around about 10 miles, aiming for 7 minutes 45 per mile. But the shoe felt so great, I came in quite a bit under that, around about 7 minutes 34 seconds per mile. This shoe really did make the run feel nice and easy. I really enjoyed it right from the off. The first few steps, the first sort of few 100 meters, it just felt really good. I could feel that boost material in the forefoot area, and although it's sparingly used in this model, it certainly does provide a really nice responsive feel. In the early part of last year, I utilised the Ultra Boost 2018 model, where there's loads and loads of boost material all the way through from the forefoot right to the heel. And this is a very different feeling shoe to that one. That Ultra Boost model was a little bit mushy for me. Certainly feel myself kind of falling into that material. And this shoe's a far more responsive kind of feeling shoe underfoot. It's certainly a more refined usage of that Boost midsole material. In a strange way, it kind of felt a lot more gratifying actually running along in this shoe without any carbon plate within it sort of propelling me forward, and I kind of felt like I was doing a little bit more of the work, which is actually quite a nice feeling. It felt like I was kind of putting in the effort, and the Adios 4 was kind of providing that cushioning that I needed, and then it kind of got out of the way when I didn't need it, if that makes any sense. Perhaps a better way of putting it is that the Adios 4 kind of didn't want to take the limelight away from what I was doing. Second observation I wanted to state to you guys is that this shoe has some incredible grip, really, really fantastic traction. Man, this thing grips more than a fresh piece of Velcro stuck to a newly laid carpet, covered in glue and duct tape. It really, really grips incredibly well. I think even Spider-Man would perhaps feel a little bit self-conscious about his adhesive abilities when the Adios 4 is in town. It gripped onto that pavement and the track that I was utilising in the local country park really, really well. Traction was awesome, to be honest, and I was really, really impressed with my initial run. I'm really keen to see how the shoe will actually perform in wet and moist conditions. If you have worn this shoe or something similar, please let me know your findings in terms of its performance in those wetter conditions. So I think it's a little bit early really to start making any comparisons between this and perhaps the Vaporfly 4% or the Carbon X. Once I put some more miles into this shoe, I'll be really keen to do that comparison, so do keep your eyes open when I publish that video. I certainly enjoyed the heel to toe drop in this shoe. It felt like the 10mm drop was enough to help me land on that forefoot area and kind of help propel me forward. Considering I literally grabbed this shoe straight out of the box, put it on and did 10 miles at a decent pace really for my long run for the week. I think that it performed admirably well. There's no comfort issues whatsoever, didn't have any rubbing, no sort of blistering, it felt great. That aside, I did use some thinner socks. Once again, I seem to be edging towards those thinner socks now rather than the thicker stance ones, probably something to do with the heat and the slightly warmer temperatures right now. But yeah, edging towards those thinner socks, and they works really well with the Adios 4. So it's certainly a very different approach in terms of the upper, in terms of the styling of the shoe really. This is a much more old school kind of approach to a running shoe, certainly than the Nike efforts that I've been testing out of recent time. In terms of how light this shoe is, I was really, really surprised by the weight. When I measured it, it came up at about 235 grams, which is about 8.3 ounces. So if you compare that to something like the Vaporfly 4%, which comes in at around about 230 grams or 8.1 ounces, there's really not an awful lot of difference there. And I have to say that the shoe did feel incredibly light. Over distance, you really do want a shoe that's that little bit lighter. Obviously, you still want that kind of cushioning, you want the supportive feel, but every few grams that you can shave off is obviously going to make your life a little bit easier. So some of the outsole material makes way for this torsion system here, and I kind of think that's a little bit of a weight saver as well. You've got the Continental rubber up here at the forefoot. I don't know whether this rubber at the back's the same. It does have Adiwear written on it. I don't know what that means. I love stuff like that when they give things special names. To me, it does feel like the same rubber. I don't think it's different. Certainly that torsion system here seems to provide some decent support in the arch area. I can remember when they first launched that system about 25 years ago, and it's still there. It doesn't seem to have changed an awful lot, but it obviously works. If it works, why bother changing it? It still seems to do a good job in terms of a modern racing shoe. I like the fact that they're just keeping things simple here, you know. There's a traditional kind of heel cup. Laces are really nice. There's a little bit of stretch to them, yet they're flat. Didn't have any problems with breathability. I know some people have commented with this shoe that they felt it could have been a little bit more breathable. Well, it was a relatively warm day in terms of UK temperatures, but I didn't feel any real discomfort there. Didn't feel like my feet were getting hot in any way. I think it's a great looking shoe, really. Real simple. It just does kind of everything that you need it to do without any of the bells and whistles. I mean, when you compare these two shoes together, I mean, this one obviously wants to be seen. This one's kind of there in the background, but you know, they both do a job. I'd really like to compare these. I'm looking forward to doing that video. I don't know if you've picked up on that, but I'm really looking forward to doing a direct comparison of these two. There's almost nothing there in terms of weight difference. They're almost identical. The Vaporfly 4% a little bit lighter, but very, very marginal. Certainly felt relatively easy to sustain that kind of 7 minutes 30 pace. I had no issues there. I could have gone a lot faster. There was a few times where I think the watch GPS got a little bit confused and it thought I was going a little slower, so I sped up and then found I was going sub 7 minutes per mile. So it's certainly a shoe that I'll be able to run pretty fast in. I might even utilise it for the 5K series race that's coming up in the middle of this week. I know I've got loads of other shoes I could use for that, but I'm quite excited about this shoe. It's just so light, it's just so great. So very, very positive initial impressions of this shoe. A nice comfortable yet snug feel, a responsive kind of sports car, low to ground feel, excellent traction from the outsole, and a price that isn't too eye-watering. Adidas, very impressive, very impressive. So look out for my 100-mile review on this one in the next few weeks. If you have any questions on this shoe, then you know what to do. Comment below, my response won't be slow. Hit that subscribe button to support the channel. Click on the bell so it chimes like a piano. Press the thumbs up. Happy running everyone. My name's EDDBUD and I'll be seeing you